So in case you didn't know, I bought a trailer for my Corvette.
Are you enjoying yourself? That was a kid. I was the best one with G.I. Joes and stuff. I make all those like.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Somebody had a good holiday weekend.
Not good, it wasn't long enough.
I actually came back here for a quick Tech Tuesday, and he says, "Sorry, man, Rick, I'm busy, man. I said, "Chuck, give me 10 minutes." So
let's
thank
go.
you, seriously, for doing that. I appreciate that. Hope you guys did have a good holiday weekend. Thanks. Part of the conversation to start today's show is going to be our last video on Sunday. Even you started grilling me and said, "Hey, man, you got a lot of shots taken at you for putting a trailer on your Corvette." Look, man, I'm not the first guy to do this, okay? As you'll see in a special ride segment tonight, but I'm going to give it probably more exposure than anybody else.
Exactly.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be functional. Yes, I own a 17 Suburban. I could have bought a trailer and pulled it. That's probably what I should have done. But I'm trying to maximize the fun and the marketing efforts around that. So there'll be a lot that will come from what we're going to do it. I'm not going to put a bunch of weight in this car, so it's going to be fun. I'm very nervous, and I'm sharing a very real experience. I've never towed a trailer of any kind. What you saw on Sunday was the first time me driving any vehicle with a trailer, and lo and behold, it's a freaking Corvette. It's like, yeah, it's totally jacked up, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Great suggestions as far as leaving the trailer black and adding some logos, which I think we'll probably do, and it'll give me a chance to change it up in real time too for different marketing things that we want to promote, things that we want to share with you guys, and to keep people talking. But thank you anyway. I mean, I told you, and people texting me portions of the owner's manual. Rick, did you not read this section sub such and such? This vehicle is not intended for towing. Again, I got it tuned up all weekend, man.
You know.
You doing all right?
Happens. Yeah.
You doing okay now? Yeah, good weekend? Yeah.
I mean, it's bad.
You know, I thought we'd be in a little bit of a funk, but we get back after we were closed on Monday. Obviously, always closed on Sunday, and we're just super slammed with a lot of stuff coming at us from every direction.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Tonight's ride segment is going to be a special tribute to all those Corvettes, besides mine, that are pulling trailers. Yeah, there you go, boys. Absolutely.
Cricket decided to make the scene.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, fancy. You're part of wardrobe now. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you know, we're only a two-man crew. We do it all.
Yeah. Before we get into Tech Tuesday, a couple quick questions with you guys. And here's the email address on the screen that you should send to me. I was going into a personal email. I'm not sure how they got there. I apologize. I haven't checked that sucker in months. And there's questions and there's ride pictures in there. Oh my gosh, you guys, I apologize. Number one, it's hard to get to everybody. But also, two, we're getting emails through the dealership call center. When you email off the dealership website, it goes to a call center, and it's as you say, sometimes easy to see those things go down the rabbit hole. So my direct email address is right there on the screen. Getting almost delivered out for 2023s. I'm going to spend a lot of time catching up on those emails, so you guys should hear from me this week, if not sooner. But we had talked about the significance, Chuck, of 2023, not just because it's the 70th anniversary for Corvette.
Right.
We were very close. We're not quite there yet. I think we will hit it. Will be the largest production volume year in the history of Corvette. At the celebration this past weekend in Bowling Green, Harlan Charles was talking about how right now, delivered out, built out, they're going to be at 53,448 Corvettes for 2023. The record is 53,807 from 1979. So we already surpassed 1984, which was 51,547. These are the only 3 years that we're talking about in the 70-year history of Corvette that have ever been over 50,000 cars. So that is huge.
Yeah.
And I think just from a business, and we're talking business real quick before we get to your questions, this Thursday we should have a marketing update for ordering. I suspect that it will be business as usual for September allocations. We'll let you know. We'll probably tag and process orders, and that may be as far as they go, because the 14th is the strike deadline. So then we'll keep you up to date.
I just want to say, am I going to have to play the devil's advocate and be Debbie Downer?
Yeah, I know. I know it's coming. I didn't want to talk about it, and now it's everybody's talking about it. And what I wanted to have for today's show, and again, because I rushed just to get you on camera, is everybody said, Rick, it's your fault. This whole thing, this drama on C8's my fault. And you know why? Because I shaved the mustache. And they said, ever since you shaved your damn mustache, everything's went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
I'm still not growing it back. All right, let's go with Tech Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Chuck, what you got?
All right, this one comes from Clay. It says, hey, Rick. Hey, Father Chuck. Thank you. Love the channel. It's better than 1883 and The Sopranos.
Oh, wow, I don't know about that, but thanks.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Particularly when Timber is part of the Beautiful Ride segment.
Okay.
Yeah. You two recently discussed how potential use of the PDR to track some arraigned technician joyriding the vet.
Yeah.
As you discussed, the pitfall is dishonest technicians could erase the video. The other options y'all discussed is placing the car into valet mode, yet it also had this problem. Look, guys, if you're going to put it in valet mode, you might as well not even take it to a dealer, reputable or otherwise, because it locks the car down. We can't do anything with it.
That's correct.
So tonight I was forced to leave my vet overnight at the dealership. They seemed very unprofessional. They were only installing splash guards. So you can imagine my concern when they said I would need to leave the car overnight. Yeah, I'm a little, I don't know if you took it in right at closing time or what. But
overnight for splash guards?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like you.
Whoa! After a panic.
It takes him 2 weeks to do splash guards.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pam.
After a brief panic, I went to my Chevy app where I could look to ensure the car was at the dealership and not out for a joyride. I investigated the app and saw the app has the capability to place a security border around the car, which will send you an alarm if the car is moved outside the border. Okay.
That's from Clay and
Texas.
In Texas. Yeah, so great information on the Chevy app. Know now in your purchases you're getting that Chevy app for 3 years. So make sure you download it. Use it on your phone for reminders, communication from Chevrolet to the owners, and stuff that Clay's talking about there. But like Chuck said, don't put it in valet mode. And yes, if it moves outside the perimeter, then you're already dealing with a dishonest dealer. There was a video just recently, guy had a C7 Z06 in for service, and 2 different people from the dealership in 2 different instances, while it was sitting there for 2 weeks, took it out for a test drive. So that dealership is just a bunch of, oh my God. It's unfortunate, so you do have to be careful. And just hopefully, like we had talked about in the PDR, that you look at your dates and timestamps, that nobody deleted that. Just keep it in automatic recording, and hopefully you have somebody trustworthy and does a nice job. Sometimes you get cute when you get into a car and he sees the little red dots recording, and he'll say hi to you or something like that.
Well, it's not only that, there's times, guys, that we do have to take your cars out and drive them pretty hard. I won't forget I had a C7 in here a couple years ago that had a couple plug wires go bad on it, and it had the plug wires all sooted up. So I took the car out, didn't really drive it aggressively, but I was driving it more so than what the customer would. Sure. And he got an OnStar alert that I was out driving his car stupidly, and I wasn't. I was out driving the car trying to get the plugs to clean up so that when he got it back, it wouldn't be going
You're trying to heat them up and stuff.
Yes, there is a time when the cars have to be driven probably more aggressively than what you think we should have to, but sometimes we have to.
Yeah, so your comments sometimes and your questions, lead us into other conversations. And let me just take it one step further. You had another client one time that you did need, and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. You needed to drive the car, and this person said, "Oh no, he's not driving my car." And he says, "Well, for your situation, I need to drive it. So if you're not going to let us drive it, we can't do it right. Then you might as well take your car back, and we're not going to service it." You got to remember, he's not some little kid. We're not out for joyrides, and he doesn't have the time. He doesn't really want to drive the car, but if he has to, he does, and he's very respectful.
Absolutely.
If that's the case. I mean, I think and I think I don't have to sell that to the people here. I think you guys know that, but you're not the only good technician out there. There's some really good guys out there.
Sure.
If they have to do their job, let them do their job. It's the ones that don't do it correctly and abuse your car or situation, then you have to deal with it accordingly. But I'm glad you said that. There are times you have to drive the car.
I've had customers bring their car in and say, at 100 mile an hour, my car does this. Okay, great. I'm not driving 100 mile an hour. The speed limit in Ohio is 70. So
right, exactly.
Not doing it.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for joining us on Tech Tuesday. Special Corvettes pulling trailers on the ride segment coming up before you go. He still thinks I'm stupid for doing that. It's gonna be fine, trust me. And if it breaks, I know someone that can fix it. Here comes Brian from Facebook under Proud Papa. My garage has a slight angle to it, talking about a C8 Corvette. He goes, when I park it at home and I turn the car off, it has a tendency to roll back just a little bit. He also says, just a note, my 23 Stingray, not an anniversary edition, does have 70th anniversary badges on both doors. Way to go, Proud Papa. I love it. He goes, I religiously watch every upload with you and Chuck. I appreciate what you guys do out in Colorado. Thank you so much for that. Yes, with that DCT transmission in 2020, when I loaded one on a trailer, got it up there, he said, stop for a second, and I let off. It was like, whoa, it felt like I was in a freaking stick, man. So compensate that, be careful with that. If you're at an angle and you still need to go forward, be careful when you accelerate. Sometimes the car can lunge a little bit, so be careful in that regard.
Yep. All right, this one comes from Donald. It says, thanks to you and Chuck for all you do for us. I'm changing my rims on my 23 C8, 21 the rear, 20 on the front. Do I need to do anything to make sure the speedometer works correctly? Okay, if you're taking them up an inch front and rear, it's going to affect the speedometer. How much, I don't know. Probably anywhere from 1.5 miles to 3 miles an hour, depending on how fast the car is going. So just be aware of that. I mean, you could probably put your phone in Google's Maps and see your speed on Google's Map as you're traveling and compare that to the speed of the car.
Here's something that's interesting too on kind of the same topic. If you ever notice what if you have video of it, what your speedometer is on the road or the track and what your speedometer reads on the PDR, there's always a 2 mile an hour variance. It's 2 mile an hour slower on the PDR versus what it actually says in the car.
Sure.
And I meant to ask the engineers that when I was out at Carlisle, and I forgot. Why that is, I don't know. It's got to be a software communication issue because I'm talking about stock size tires.
So, well, it's got to send the information to the instrument cluster, and then from the instrument cluster to there, and by the time it's getting back and forth, it probably will lose.
Yeah. So if you're doing 151, your PDR will say 149. So, yeah. How I know that, I don't really know.
I don't even want to know.
Right.
I don't suggest doing that with a trailer, but...
A couple more for you on Tech Tuesday. Thanks for joining us, guys. I do appreciate that. If you've got a question how to use something on your Corvette or troubleshoot a problem, if we can help, we will. Email address is up on the screen. This came via text. This is Rick. I recently found out that my C8 Corvette does not have a spare tire or jack. He says, my sales rep said the cars come with run-flat tires. They don't come with jacks or spare tires. I've not heard this covered before. Might be something to talk about on Tech Tuesday. This is obviously a new guy to the marketplace in Corvette, and he brings up a good point. We just assume you guys know that, so I apologize. Since 1997, Corvettes have come with run-flat tires to maximize your space in the car, have made it a more user-friendly Corvette, but that's correct. If you're using factory tires, you can drive on a flat tire up to 55 miles an hour. 100-mile duration usually allows you to get somewhere safe or somewhere to get the car fixed or deal with it the next morning type of thing, so you're not stranded on the side of the road. So thanks for the text, I appreciate that.
All right, this one comes from Joseph. Says, Ricky, great content, keep them coming. Don't know about the trailer, a small one would have been more proportionate to the vet. A few Tech Tuesdays ago, I think it was Father Chuck that said if you do the trans filter early, you will need to do it again as close as you can to 7,500 miles.
This is important. Listen to this, guys.
I did mine at 6,450 while the car was in for the second oil change. I was not planning on doing it again until around 14,500. The readout states 68%. I'm not an aggressive driver anymore, in quotations. I do really need to do it again now. I'm at 7,550. Will this possibly void the warranty? Yeah, see, I don't know. I know they said if you did it early that they give you like a 500-mile leeway. So if you're at 7,001 miles, you're within their parameter of the 7,500. At 6,450, I'm not sure. If you needed to do it again before 7,500, I don't know what their take is on what's early and what's not early.
Well, here's concern on the warranty thing too is going to be only if, because you didn't change that within the mileage, if there's a direct problem as a result of that, that's when you have a warranty question. So
and because you did it at 6,450 and didn't do it close to 7,500, now you're over. There's a possibility that you could have a warranty issue, but I can't guarantee that.
It's funny he brings that up again, you know, extending the conversation. I did mine just because of scheduling and what I had coming up. I did mine in 6,100. I'm now over 8,000. I'm going to have Chuck do another one just because of exactly what we're talking about.
So you could run in the same situation.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Most certainly. So I'm going to get that done, and then they're going to see all the record of that. So we should be fine and dandy. And I just feel better changing it out anyways. I do have a tendency to over-service my car. I think a lot of us old school guys do that. I mean, the first, you're dealing with an old school guy when I'm at delivery, and they're like, okay, I'm supposed to drive at 500 miles and change oil, right? No, those days are long gone. That's not how we do that, but that's what we think, and we're just trying to make that extra effort, take care of our babies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One more from Texas. This is Rick and Chuck. I love the show. Can't wait to take some pictures of my C8 and send them to you. I haven't seen anything like this car. My question is about the SD card for the PDR that records while you're driving or records in valet mode. Does it come in the car from Chevrolet, or do you have to buy one? No, you do have to buy one. I'm kind of shocked that they don't give you just at least like a 8 gig or something. I'm running 256, sometimes up to 512 in mine, and I know some guys have run a terabyte in there, especially if you're using it as a dash cam. Make sure that you actually have the overwrite button turned on, so in the event that the card fills up, that it keeps recording. There's been so many guys I've talked to that have gotten out of speeding tickets, accident situations, because they were recording in dash cam mode. So make sure you get a card in there and turn that on. If you need further help on that, throw me another text as you did in this one. I do appreciate you watching the show.
I'm done.
Was that quick enough?
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's time
I appreciate
for Vets
that.
and trailers.
It is. Thanks for watching. See you Thursday if we got a market update. See, he's just like you guys. He's like, yeah, I'll put the hitch on, Rick. He goes, but I don't know. And he just kept shaking his head the whole damn time he was doing it.
Yeah.
But we did it, and we're going to have fun with it.
I got on the internet, and I couldn't find a vehicle towing capacity for any bed.
Oh, my God. Here we go. See you next time.
I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you Hindsight is fleeting, oh, and your heart's bleeding, and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then, or what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you